You know, I'm just trying to be like Freeway, man. Freeway Rick Ross. Some of these guys, man, that, you know, I look up to in hip hop, you know?
Yeah. So, man, listen, man. Corona is out there, is buck wild. It is shut down the entire freaking sport of boxing. Everybody's on lockdown, but there's still a lot of topics going on. One of the topics, and this is something you wanted to talk about, was Deontay Wilder, man. He lost to the best fighter probably in the heavyweight division, which is Tyson Fury. You can even make the claim Tyson Fury is probably, you know, he's probably one of the top, as far from a skill standpoint. He's probably one of the top 5 boxers in boxing right now today from a skill standpoint. Is Deontay Wilder finished? Can he come back? A lot of people think he's done. I don't think he's done because you lost to the best. That's why you lose to the best. What do you think, man?
I think we need to wait and see. Obviously, we're waiting for this third fight to take place, which probably won't happen to the last quarter of 2020. But again, it's a test of what Deontay Wilder's all about. You know, when he had the wave and he was icing all of his opponents, he was the baddest man on the planet. So he takes his first L, and this is boxing. When you take an L, everyone says you're no good. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts, to see what he works on, to see how he approaches future fights, because I'm one of the opinion that the right hand is deadly, no doubt about it. But I feel like it might need to be disguised a bit more in future fights, because I think Tyson Fury kind of put a blueprint out there that you need to take the center of the ring and get him to fight backwards and close the distance so he can't really get the right hand off properly. And how he manages to do that, make those adjustments, is going to be extremely intriguing. But by no means is he a bad fighter overnight. I mean, when people say that, I say that's bullshit. How can you be a bad fighter with one defeat? But look, every fighter in their career has had a point where they're going to be publicly criticized.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua, when he got it big time after his first defeat to Ruiz, he got it big time.
Yeah, he did. He
big
really
time.
Did.
You know, Dillian White, when he lost to Joshua 2016 for the British title, Dillian White got it.
Yeah.
But what it's done to those fighters is, let's tell the truth, it's made them stronger, and it's made them work on a few things, and it's made them a lot more advanced than what they're doing. It's made them better fighters.
You know, the only thing I disagree is when you said the blueprint. I think the blueprint was already out there on Deontay Wilder. If you watch when he fought Spilka, when he fought Eric Molina, hell, even when he fought Gerald Washington, I think the blueprint was always out on him. But I don't think none of those guys had the commitment and the skill set that Tyson Fury had to carry that out at the level that Fury carried it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing I applaud Tyson Fury for was he knew that what I did in that first fight isn't going to work. I have to be willing to grind and get up in that man's face. That's why he went to Crunk Gym. That's why he, you know, got with Emmanuel Stewart's nephew down there at Crunk Gym, because he came out to fight. You know, that's really what he came out for. I don't think Deontay Wilder is done, because when you lose to, like, this is what happens when you lose to the best. Because, for example, if I look at Deontay Wilder and I say, yo, who else out there other than Tyson Fury can I say definitely bottom line beats him? And I can't say anybody. You know what I'm saying? I really can't say anybody. I can't say that, you know, Adam Kalnaki just lost, but I can't look at none of the other contenders and say, oh, they just flat out beat him. I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? So styles make fights. You get him in there with an Andy Ruiz, who's a shorter fighter, it's a different fight. He just fought the best fighter that there was out there. So, you know, I think a lot of people are saying it because of the way that he lost. I don't think nobody expected him to get just beat up like that. You know, so the way that he lost, I think, is what people are saying. But by no means is he done. And, you know, same thing with Anthony Joshua. By no means it was Anthony Joshua done. Heck, I actually think it's exciting that it has happened, because now you have this three-way game going on right now with Fury, Wilder, and Joshua. And I still would like to see Fury and Wilder. I mean, Joshua and Wilder. I still want to see Fury and Joshua, even if anybody takes a L, because those are the three heavyweights that we have right now that if they fight each other, it can be big and big money for all of them.
I think all the fighters have shown vulnerability in the past. I think for Fury this time around, because of the manner of his last victory, a lot of people are like, wow, this guy can really do it all. He's on the back foot. He can do the herky-jerky style. He can box your head off.
Yeah.
And now he's also got power.
Yeah.
So we're like, is this guy indestructible now? That's the question mark. But again, what people can say is, in terms of vulnerability, Fury was down twice in the first fight against Wilder, so he can go down. Cunningham all them years ago knocked Fury down.
That's true.
It's possible. Otto Warren gave Fury problems.
Yeah, he cut his
possible.
Eye.
Yeah, it's possible. So that's what's so intriguing about the heavyweight division at the moment. I think they've all got their vulnerabilities, or they've all shown signs of vulnerabilities, but all of them represent different skill sets. And they either gel and make a great fight, or it might cause a stinker. I don't know. But I think Joshua and Wilder fighting each other, that's potentially a great fight. Animosity. These two guys, that's a straight shootout. Bang, bang. Yeah. Straight. Yeah. Whoever cracks first. Judging from the last fight, I could see how Joshua would fight Wilder. Go straight on him. Straight. Again, the blueprint is close the distance. Yeah, make sure that you can't really get that right hand off. But I'm telling you, Wilder's going to be behind closed doors, and he's going to polish up some things. And a lot of people are going to be surprised by what they see when he fights Fury next.
I hope he does. I really hope he does. So speaking of Tyson Fury, we know he has this thing going on with UCAT. The farmer has come out and said that, you know, the whole wild boar thing, right? Now, you always want to maintain this thing of innocent to proven guilty, blah, 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 whatever, right? But here's the problem, man. Although for me, yeah, this was like a while ago. It was 2015. So in my opinion, what happened then in 2015 has nothing on what we saw happen with Tyson Fury and Wilder today. But it does raise suspicion at the fact that, hey, man, what is this? Like, I just have to look at that because, you know, it's like when these guys say what they say, like Canelo with the meat and all of that, and I'm like, man, I eat the same thing y'all eat, man. I'm not, you know, ain't nothing happening here. So I don't know, but for me, I think it is a bad look for Tyson Fury until we find out all the evidence. This is definitely a bad look for him that this has come out with this farmer. Now, the farmer never talked to Fury directly. He's saying somebody from his team, but it's a bad look, and it's one of those looks that all these people hear it, but not all these people are going to stick around and hear the truth, man. When it's, you know, whatever the truth is later on down the line, man. What's your take on that?
My take was exactly what you've echoed. Innocent until proven guilty. It's just unfortunate, you know, Tyson Fury during this wave. Let's face it, a lot of people are calling him the man right now. And for this farmer to come out at this particular moment and make these accusations and allegations is suspect to me. It's suspect. Like, why didn't you do it 6 months ago? This case has been running for how long? Since 2015, I think it was.
Right.
Why didn't you do it back then? So look, I know we're about to go into a recession and stuff like that, but I don't know. Maybe the farmer is looking to get some racks up before we all got, you know, before we're all done out here. So I don't know. I'm with Fury on this. I'm just like, look, the guys. For me, I think there's nothing to it. But again, you know, the facts have to add up first, you know, before anyone says he's guilty. But the farmer, man, business is tough out there. Maybe he needs money, man. I don't know.
Well, you know what I find interesting about it is Frank Warren. I like Frank Warren. Frank Warren.
Yeah. Straight talking. Yeah.
Right, Frank Warren told me, look here, man, you ain't finna get no money from me. You better go talk to UCAT. On top of that, the farmer shows his lack of intelligence. Why? You lied without getting the money first? You didn't get your money first? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. How do you not get your money first? Say, listen, I need my money first before I sign that letter. How do you do that? You know? So that's why I say, man, I agree with you on one thing, this about the timing of this is at the height of him, you know, at him reaching it.
And that's what's made it bait. That's what's made it suspect. The timing. You could have waited at least another 7 months or something like that. The timing. That's what made it suspect.
Yeah, that what made it suspect with the timing. Now, you know, like I said, wherever there's smoke, there's fire. Now, I ain't gonna even lie, I was kind of looking at Tyson Fury with the hairy eyeball like, wow, Boar, that's why you failed the test? Okay. But for me, that was 2015, and it doesn't have anything to do with what we saw in the ring. Like, I don't want people to look at this and say, oh, that's why he beat Wilder. No. That has nothing to do with what we saw in 2020. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to connect those two. But I definitely love Frank Warren. That's an OG right there. He's, hey, man, you need to go talk to UCAD, bro. I got definitely there, man.
No, it's look, end of the day, we want to see the biggest fights. And to be fair, we could do without this. We've had this whole Corona thing. Now we've got these allegations floating about. Everything's in chaos at the moment. So you know what? Martin Careful, I think his name is. Look, mate, let's leave it out, all right? Let's leave it out. We need boxing back in our lives, man. I can't take this no more. I want to see Fury versus Wilder. You know what I mean? I want to see Fury versus Joshua. I want to see Fury versus Dillian White. I want to see these fights, man, because these guys are tremendous fighters. And right now, you know, they're giving a major positive to the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I am curious about Billy Joe Saunders. Saunders got the Canelo Alvarez fight. He's gonna fight Canelo Alvarez right here in Vegas. Can Billy Joe Saunders get a decision over Canelo Alvarez? Now, mind you, this is the same Canelo Alvarez that before he was this big and this famous, Canelo Alvarez got a favorable scorecard of a draw from one referee against Floyd Money Mayweather. It's at the
split decision. Do you know what? How could that be? How could that have been a split decision? That fight. Do you know what, mate? Do you know what? I'm not gonna make sure I don't say too much. That was never a split decision. Never.
No, it was.
I think
it was never a split decision. But when you look at that,
unanimous.
Down, and then of course the Gennady Golovkin fight. You know, one scorecard, Adelaide Bird's scorecard was way too freaking. You know, was way high again.
Yeah.
So when you look at this, man, how can Billy Joe, who comes in the box, Canelo walks in the building, and there's an 80% chance he's gonna win the fight when he just walk in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's 80%. When he just walk in the building, there's an 80% chance Canelo gonna win the fight. How can Billy Joe Saunders beat Canelo Alvarez on the scorecards?
You know, a friend of mine, he said to me, Billy Joe needs a knockout to get a draw. And at this point in time, I think I feel like that as well. I mean, look, regardless of whether the cards are stacked in Canelo's favor, he's a hell of a fighter, full-weight world champion. He's a beast right now. I think he's in the prime of his career. Okay, some people have questioned, you know, some of the fights that he's had and the time that he's taken the fights. Like Kovalev was it was done. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That was
two camps back to back. You know what I mean?
That was you know, a legacy build for him. 4 division world champion. That's all that was.
He went for Rocky Fielding. You know, some of these fights. To be fair, he's got good management. He's got good management. He's got a good team that market him well, that pick the right fights for him, and they've made him into this boxing megastar. But Billy Joe, he's born to box. Yeah, this guy's born to do this. And if you look at his resume, the guy started from area titles. Yeah, English, British, European. Yeah, world title. Two of them. He's a supreme fighter. Yeah, that guy's born to do it. And I actually got a friend of mine who used to spar with Billy Joe years back, probably about 7 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what? When he's on form, you can't touch him. That's what he said. You can't touch him. You can't lay a glove on him. You can't touch him. And I, for one, think it's going to be a tall order. He's going to have to do a Tyson Fury-esque type of performance and really stick it to Canelo. I don't know how it's going to be done. I don't know how it's going to be done, because at super middle, there are questions about whether he carries the power to stop Canelo. Big question. If it's at middleweight now, I would say, okay, fair enough. You know, there's a greater percentage. But at super middle, I don't know. And, you know, the fight against Asufi out in Stevenage last summer for the WBO super middle, there was a moment in that fight where he was buzzed. I was sitting there at the time ringside, and I was like, what the hell's going on? What's going on? But he got buzzed because he moved up in weight and he fought a guy that had come down from cruiser and let go a right hand on him. And he had just moved to super middleweight. So there's questions, man. Is that the right weight? You know, I know he wants the big fights, but really, some people are saying, should he really be fighting Andrade instead? You know what I mean? Rather than this Hulk, yeah? And I'm telling you, Canelo's gonna Hulk up for that fight. The way he's gonna rehydrate, yeah? Whew. Mate, you're talking jerk chicken, you're talking rice and peas, you're talking jollof rice. Hey, Wingstop, Denny's. He's gonna rehydrate, my guy.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. I don't, even if Billy Joe has the power, I don't know if he knocks out Canelo. Canelo has a hell of a chin. Canelo, you got to give it. When he took that punch from Daniel Jacobs, flush like that.
Yeah.
Just,
even Triple G.
Yeah,
Triple G as well.
Just, you know, Canelo has one hell of a chin. And I think that the Canelo we're seeing now is the Canelo who's his ring IQ and mentality has finally caught up with what his body can do. That's why we're seeing so many. Like, remember before, Canelo was flat-footed. Well, he's not flat-footed no more. He can actually move around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's increased on his body punching. He's an even better body puncher than he was before, and he puts things together. It's like he sees it in real time now. It's like, you know, when you're so good, you see something. It's like it's in slow motion to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when I don't know. When I'm watching a boxing match, it's like it's happening in slow motion to me because I know exactly what I'm looking at. I can see it all. And that's what it is with Canelo. He's so good. It's like playing in slow motion to him. So I think for me, I would have liked to have seen Billy Joe Saunders fight a Demetrius Andrade because I would have had something to gauge him when he fights a top level fighter like that, right? But going against Canelo, already knowing that you need a knockout to win, already knowing there's an 80% chance he's going to win the fight. The performance Billy Joe has to put on, the problem with that is he can put on that performance and all Canelo got to do is just get just below him with his performance. And Canelo wins the fight. You know? That's the thing, man. And I'm excited about it because I want to see Canelo fight one of these. You got too many young, hungry, undefeated guys in this era. You got Andrade, you got Saunders, you got Callum Smith, you know, you got Caleb Plant, you got David Benavidez, Charlo. Yeah, Charlo. So you got a lot of undefeated guys around the weight that you're campaigning at that's in their prime. And you know, to me, you need to fight these guys. So I'm glad he's fighting Billy Joe Saunders, man. I wish it was Callum Smith, but it's Billy Joe.
Oh, you think Callum Smith would have more of a greater chance against Canelo, yeah?
Yeah, only because of his length. I think that range and that length would give Canelo, like when he fought Kovalev, when Kovalev had the jab going, that length was giving him a little bit of problems. But he was able to get under that. And I think Callum Smith is a little bit more from a mental standpoint. He's a little bit more sharper than Kovalev is at that point in time now. To where if Canelo gets inside, he knows how to back up and, you know, throw certain punches to get him off of him. So it would have been just that length would have gave Canelo a little bit of problems, and that would have been it.
Would you reckon? I think Floyd Mayweather was quoted as saying that Canelo's copying his moves. I mean, how have they reacted to that in America?
You know, I haven't really heard nothing about it. But if they saying he's copying his move as far as his blueprint,
that's what Floyd, because Floyd was over here about 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about Canelo, and he says he's been copying my moves. That's what Floyd said.
He's talking about like the guys he's been looking at fighting and the moves he's been making.
No, he's saying that Canelo's actually been copying what Floyd used to do in the ring. You know, when you see the first fight when he fought Triple G, the first fight, and he was really just hanging tight on the ropes, just tucking up and counter punching. He's saying that he's been copying his moves.
Hey man, leaning on the ropes and counter punches has been around in boxing for I don't know how long. Ask Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. Remember when he came off the rope against George Foreman? So that's been around forever. But for me, if you want to say that he is copying Floyd, I mean, if you can do something, be successful at it, do it. But I think, honestly speaking, I think what Canelo is doing is he's put, like I agree, like what you said. He has a great team around him. He has great management around him because he's fighting names. Although, like we said, Kovalev was past it, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the generation below us, they're not gonna look. Oh, he was passing. No, they're gonna look. Oh, he beat Kovalev. Wow, that's how they're gonna look at it. He beat Kovalev, so he has the name.
Some people would have said they would have liked to have seen Canelo fight Kovalev. You know that time when he fought Andre Ward, the first fight? Kovalev at that time was absolute Zangief, of a fight. He was a beast. And you know what? That fight against Andre Ward the first time, for me, mate, that was a scary one for Andre Ward. It was scary, man. It was scary, man.
Yeah, that was scary because, but what the funny thing about that was that Kovalev we saw against Andre Ward was a Kovalev nobody ever seen before. Like nobody, like the thing, it was one of them things where all you knew about Kovalev was his ability to punch. He had power, right? Nobody knew he had that type of skill. And the only thing that saved Andre Ward is he is a supreme athlete in his mind. So that got him out. You're right, it was scary, but because that was the best Kovalev we saw, the ceiling wasn't gonna get no higher for him. So when he rematched Andre Ward, we knew that wasn't the best Andre Ward we saw. That wasn't the best him. So we got the best Andre Ward against the best Kovalev, and he wound up knocking him out. And I think that a lot of people say when Aleta Alvarez knocked him out, I believe when Andre Ward knocked out Kovalev, that was the end of Kovalev, But yeah, I mean,
it's interesting. But this is what we talked about at the start of the conversation. That it's interesting when a fighter takes a loss, or when a fighter has a moment in a fight where there's signs of vulnerability, and they start to get unraveled. Because we know Kovalev was unraveled in the second fight against Andre Ward to the body. John David Jackson, right?
Yeah,
said it to Tunde Ajayi, that Anthony Yarde should just target the body, because of that unraveling they saw against Andre Ward in the second fight. See what I'm saying? But it's interesting. But for Canelo, I must say, he's been incredible, man. Since he lost to Mayweather all them years back, he's been incredible, man. I have to give it to him. Like what I saw in the first Triple G fight, right? Where he was just counter punching. He was waiting for Triple G to come to him and just counter punch him. Yeah. The second fight, he said, "You know what?
He took Gennady Golovkin in that second fight.
This is what Fury did to Wilder, and this is why I love when a fighter shows to me adaptability. I love that. Yeah, there's not one style. There's more than one style.
Yeah, the thing about the Canelo Alvarez fighting Floyd Mayweather is, and I say this all the time, is as a fighter, you have to see that elite level. Because when you see that elite level, whether you win or whether you lose, you know what you have to work on. And when Canelo fought Floyd, he saw an elite level fighter. He saw it. And he said to himself, this is some shit that I got to work on, right? Gennady Golovkin never saw that. He never saw that elite level guy. So he didn't know what, like, you know, so he never knew what he had to work on to improve. It's the same thing when we talking Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury saw that elite level guy in Vladimir Klitschko. He saw that. That was the guy he saw. He saw in Vladimir Klitschko. Wilder never saw that elite level guy. So he didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. And I know it's risky when you have a fighter, but sometimes it's like the old school. You got to just throw your fighter in there and say, hey, man, sink or swim. You got to just throw him in there, man. And once he sees it, because like you said, Canelo's the perfect example of a guy that takes a loss and becomes the biggest thing in boxing. He takes a loss, best fighter in the world. Now he went on to be the biggest thing in boxing. Why? Because you have to see that elite level. When you see that, then you know this is what I have to work on, you know? So that's why that's why that fight with Floyd was so valuable to Canelo Alvarez, and to your point, why it's even harder to beat him, because think about it, Canelo doesn't beat Edeslani Lauda if he doesn't see Floyd Mayweather. He fights Lauda and realizes, okay, this is some shit that I got to do. He struggles against Gennady Golovkin if he doesn't see Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, you're right, man. When fighters show that adjustability and that adaptability, that's why we love this sport. I like it when they do it in real time, though. I don't like show it to me in real time. But
I get you. Well, you remember, like, in a lot of Floyd's fights, sometimes it would look like there's a bit of issues earlier on in the fight, but he's like, hold on. You know, stay cool. I just gotta work him out. And he said it. His boxing brain processes like a computer during the fight. He's taking information in and said, "Okay, this is how I beat the guy." Yeah. You know, Andre Ward shows that as well. Same thing.
There are very few fighters who have shown me that. Floyd, Andre Ward. I mean, recently, Floyd, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford. You know, I was actually impressed by the way Errol Spence even fought Mike. I didn't think Errol Spence could technically out technical Mikey Garcia like that. I was shocked by that, you know. So I don't know, man. I I just want this Corona shit to end, man, so we can get to boxing. It's been I actually got to talk to my kids.
Hey, you got to watch Frozen. You know, all them children programs. You know, Nickelodeon. It's hard, man. It's hard. But look, boxing will be back. I'm sure we just got to stick positive. People, stay at home. Recuperate. Let's not infect anybody else. And we will overcome this. That's what I say.
All right, man. As always, man, I want to thank my man Pro Beez for hitting me up, wanting to go live. We got to do more of these, man. But you know, it's crazy.
Hey, look, we're gonna be at home for months, man. So look, this could be a regular thing. We're gonna be all at home for months. We can't go nowhere.
Yeah, it's crazy because when boxing is going on, we don't have time. But when no boxing is happening, we got all the time in the world. You know, that's just how the sport is, man. But my man Pro Beez, thank you so much, man. As always, you guys go to 3kingsboxing.com for the latest grades, what's going on in the sport of boxing. And of course, we're gonna try to me and my man Prodigy, we both been busy, but be on the lookout for the 3 Kings Boxing podcast every Monday and Thursday, 8:30 Central and on. All right. Pep Talk UK, 3 Kings Boxing, we out.